Daniel Jacobs touches gloves. He brought what he could. But Canelo Alvarez waves to the crowd in what looked like just an outstanding performance in a title defense.
So listen, I have it by a round for Canelo or a draw.
Thrilled
now
that your man fought like that.
He fought smart, he fought aggressive, he was fast, the head movement was exceptional. I think he won comfortably, but credit to Jacobs, but it's just a little bit too little, too late towards the end. We'll see how the judges had it.
I had it 116, 112 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. The accuracy was key, the harder shots was key. Tough fight, and sort of an awkward fight too.
So, okay, listen. Let's talk for a little bit. Let's talk for a little bit before they read the official cards. We are here live, real time. It is 12:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th, 2019. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. They even tried to rob Floyd Mayweather in Vegas. Canelo has had cards, good cards, go in his favor. This was a very, very, very sweet sciencey type of fight. The type of fight that a lot of fans were likely yelling at Danny Jacobs, you know, at the TV, like, or whatever you were watching on your phone or whatever. Because for him, you know, what was the wait for? What was the extra wait for? What was he, you know, what was the game plan? Was it to try to outbox Canelo? Because it seems as though the fight that he fought, the second half of the fight, from round 8 on, in which I gave him, I can't wait to see the scorecards. I'm wondering to myself, you know, like, where was that fighter right there that you saw in that clip? That was, you know, kind of stalking Canelo, and also the slapping hooks. Canelo was clearly tired during the second half of the, not the second half, the last quarter of the fight. And it seems as though our man Danny Jacobs didn't take advantage of it. But was that the, you know, Danny Jacobs is good. And that was a great performance, by the way. Let's listen in.
With action, we go to the scorecards. The winner will be the unified WBA, WBC,
Let's listen in.
IBF champion. Dave Moretti and Steve Weisfeld both have it 115, 113. Glenn
we have a
Philbin
winner.
Scores it 116 to 112. All 3 scores go to the winner by unanimous decision. Damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Now the unified middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo
So let's listen to the post-fight interviews and see.
As you guys were saying,
that 115, 113.
Judges had it 7-5, one had it 8-4. That's how it broke down. But it is Canelo Alvarez who picks up another belt and stays the middleweight champion of the world. Interesting though, Sergio, as we were saying, a few of those rounds could be close, and if they swing Jacobs' way, looks like a few of them did.
In my opinion, I'm with Chris. 116, 112 sounds about right, but
so let's listen to the post-fight interviews. Talk about the 160-pound division. Talk about what's next for Canelo. Talk about what's next for Danny Jacobs. If you don't know, Danny Jacobs lost about $1.1 million because he missed the day of weigh-in. You know, and I'm wondering, was the risk really, really worth it? So my understanding is, I heard somewhere that Eddie Hearn said he was going to cover it. Danny Jacobs was scheduled to make, or supposed to be making, 2.5 for the fight, and also another $10 million for the fight from his deal for the DAZN, so about 15 million or so. And then Canelo's making 10 to 15, 12, some shit, about 15 million or so after everything. You know, by far a super massive payday. Let's look at the punch stats though. This should be interesting. I want to hear this.
31. Jacobs throwing more punches, but a lot of those were those soft jabs just being tossed
and those slapping
out there.
hooks.
The harder shots landed by Canelo.
Canelo's got some good upper body movement and some good, you know, not footwork, but his defense. Remember we first saw it?
Right now I thought mostly all Canelo.
That's always the case when you look back at a fight like that. But I always look at percentage. Right there, 45% landed. That's a high ratio. So anytime you're close to 50%.
Remember the Austin Trout fight? That's where we really started seeing the real shades like, yo, he can be defensively great. Let's listen in. WBC, ring, IBF, WBO. No, excuse me, WBA, Super World.
Of the middleweight title. This was a tricky fight.
What if he go after Andre next?
What did you think about your performance?
Who fights Celeste? Listen in.
Nomás tener paciencia. Sabíamos que iba a ser un peleador difícil, pero gracias a Dios hicimos las cosas como las teníamos que hacer.
It's just what we thought. You know he was going to be a difficult fighter, but thank God we did the things the right way, the things we were supposed to do.
You looked like you took control and were the more aggressive fighter in the early rounds. Started to lay back a little bit in the second half of the fight. What was the thinking there?
No, era lo que pensábamos, ¿no? La pelea se iba a ir por el estilo del peleador. Simplemente estábamos haciendo nuestro trabajo.
It is just what we thought because of the style of fight that he brings, but we just did our job.
Daniel likes to change back and forth between orthodox and southpaw. Did that create any problems for you?
No, claro, eso es normal, ¿no? Cuando se te cambian de un momento a otro, de zurdo a derecho, pues crea problemas, ¿no? Pero es solo cuestión de segundos en lo que se adapta uno.
Yes, obviously it's normal, and that creates certain problems, but it's just a matter of adapting when they switch lefty to righty.
You took a big shot in that 9th round. You came back to your corner. They asked you if you were okay. How did you take that shot?
No, sí, obviamente recibí un golpe duro, pero no me hizo nada, ¿no? Me preguntaron en la esquina, no sentí nada y seguí la pelea.
Yes, it was a hard shot. I received a hard shot. I went to the corner. They asked me, and I said, no, it was no big deal. I just continued with my fight.
You now have 3 pieces of the title.
No bruises, no scars, no nothing.
Undisputed middleweight champion. That could mean a fight with Demetrius Andrade. You also said you want the biggest fights. I think everyone would agree Gennady Golovkin, who's here in the crowd tonight, represents the next biggest fight for you. What do you want to do next?
He don't want.
Todo lo que representa un reto para mí, eso es lo que me gusta. No, un reto grande que sea para mí, esa es la siguiente pelea.
I'm just looking for the biggest challenge. That's all I want. I want the biggest challenge, and I want that to be my next fight.
Do you feel there is unfinished business between you and Golovkin?
No, para mí ya terminaron, pero si quiere otra pelea y la gente quiere otra pelea, estoy listo para ganarle nuevamente.
No, for me, we're done. But if the people want another fight, we'll do it again, and I'll beat them again.
What is undisputed middle?
Para eso estoy aquí, para pelear, para eso nací, para eso estoy aquí, para defender lo mío, y aquí estamos para pelear con quien sea.
That's why I'm here. That's what I was born for, to fight, to defend what's mine, and I'll fight anyone.
Thank you, Canelo.
¡Viva México!
Please talk to Danny. There we go.
Daniel, you've been on the tough end of 2 close decisions.
Let's take
First
that,
to
John.
Golovkin,
Box
and
wreck.
now here tonight. How are you feeling after this one?
I feel accomplished. I feel great. I have to go back and look at the tapes to see exactly what the judges thought. But I kept conversations with my corner inside the breaks. They said that to me that I was up, so I was still pushing forward because I wanted to finish strong. But he's a tremendous champion. I take my hat off to him. I got to go back, like I said, and review the tapes. But I gave my all out there. We'll see Daniel Jacobs bigger and better next time.
Your trainer, Andre Rozier, in those early rounds was telling you, don't wait too long, don't wait too long. Do you think you started off a little bit slow in this fight?
Yeah, I definitely think it took me maybe a couple rounds to get my wits about me, to figure out his rhythm, because he's a pop shotter. And it's really hard to train for a guy, especially with 10-ounce gloves on, to really get a feel of his speed. But he was a fast guy, very slippery.
Those bursts.
It was a great contest today. I look forward to the future and what the future has in store, but I feel like I gave enough tonight to get the victory. Like, I'll go back to the tapes and see exactly what happened.
You weighed in this morning at 173 pounds, coming over that 170. Did you feel any different in the ring?
I didn't feel any different. I'm just a naturally big middleweight, and the restraints that they had on me as far as making 170 the next day was a lot for me. I made the sacrifice of coming in 173 and paying a hefty fine for it. But at the end of the day, this is boxing. I make sacrifices, and I gave it all tonight. I didn't get the short. I got the short end of the stick. But to my fans, to everybody viewing all over the world that support me, to all my survivors out there who appreciate me and my story for what I represent, I thank you. The journey is not over. I'm continuing to strive for success and be the best that I can be. Thank you, guys, for all your support.
You had your son Nathaniel right beside you, your inspiration in all this. I saw right when the judges read their scorecard, you said something to him. What was it?
Well, I asked him, did he think Daddy did a good job? And he said, yes, Dad, you did a great job. You won the fight. So if I'm going to win and hit his heart, that's all that matters to me. I'm going to go home and be the best that I could be.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
Brian?
Yeah, let's talk. There's going to probably be some people that's going to say that Danny Jacobs won the fight. And, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to call you an asshole and all that type of stuff. But in my opinion, Canelo won. It's crazy because I'm wondering now, I don't really think that Canelo really wants to fight Golovkin in a third fight. But because of his contract with DAZN and he gets that guaranteed money, he can't pull that like lever. The DAZN has paid Canelo and paid Golovkin to bring in subscribers. What brings in subscribers? A fight like this. This was a very good card. However, I feel that these two right here, no disrespect, commentators are going to have bad nights and sometimes they're going to miss shit sometimes. But I don't feel that Brian Kinney and Sergio Mora, and Sergio Mora is a very good commentator in my opinion, have been gave Danny Jacobs enough credit. Also, Danny Jacobs hit Canelo with 2 big hooks. I believe it was in round 9 or 10. I think it was round 9. That I was waiting for them to show the replay in between rounds, and they didn't even show it. And I'm thinking like, well, damn, like I understand Canelo was the man and everything like that, but, give my man Danny Jacobs some credit. However, they were all saying that the fight was close, especially Chris Mannix, up until, in my opinion, when Danny Jacobs waited a little too long to take over rounds 10, 11, and 12. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, he had really, really good spots. And, yes, Canelo at the beginning was more, he was better, the first half of the fight defensively. Everybody's leaving. Defensively and offensively. But one thing you also have to worry about going forward is that knee brace, because they say he didn't do any road work. And you can tell he was tired. You can see it. That's alarming. He may have to take some time off. And honestly, even though fans may be upset, think about it. He's 28 years old. He'll be 29 in July. Damn, he's been around for a long ass time. I think that, they need to take care of that knee. Now, they were saying that he's going to go look at it. Oh, they got Oscar.
2 points up. It was a tough fight, close fight. Jacobs is a very tough competitor, but I had Canelo winning by 2 points.
What did you think of the performance, just as the style, the way he was able to break Jacobs down?
Style. I mean, that's why everybody who has fought him has had a tough time with Jacobs, including Triple G, including anybody who has fought him. Jacobs is a real competitor. He's a tough guy. And the fact that he survived cancer and this gives him more heart, more power. So Canelo did great.
All right, so as long as you're walking by, I'd ask you. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you. Good to see you. Hall of Famer Oscar De La Hoya. Eddie Hearn is here. Eddie, your thoughts on that performance?
I thought it was a good fight, a very technical fight, cagey at times. I thought Danny started a little bit too slow. I had him winning 5 rounds in the fight. I mean, I thought the back end of the fight, he controlled well. Every time he backed Canelo up, he looked like he was in control of the fight.
Exactly.
But I think, to beat a world champion, although Danny was one himself, to beat Canelo in Vegas, you've got to do more. I gave him many rounds, but I think the right man won.
Let me ask you a business question then, because I
honest integrity. I need to.
Yeah, Danny certainly did enough here to stay in this
get my boxing promoter's license. Shit.
What do you see? What do you envision happening the rest of the way over the next year, 18 months?
Well, I think Danny does have to look at the division and the weight class. I've said for a while I think he'd be a great super middleweight as well, moving up to 168 pounds. He's a huge guy.
Callum Smith.
At times in there tonight, he didn't look flat, but maybe he didn't have as much spring in his step as he might have done at a higher weight category. I don't know, that's for him and his training team. There's still big fights in the middleweight division. If Gennady Golovkin doesn't fight Canelo Alvarez, there's a rematch there, and of course, Demetrius Andrade has the key to the undisputed in the division. Those two are quite close. I think he's going to have a nice rest and really evaluate whether 160 or 168 is the plan. The money, the zone, is at 160, but I do think he'd be extremely effective at 168 pounds.
With Gennady Golovkin, look, he's here, he's in the fold, as we say. Look, you don't control everything. How do you see it shaking out? Will it be in the fall or by the end of the year, Golovkin and Canelo?
Yeah, I think that's the fight.
Would you entertain?
I think the 2 biggest fights in boxing right now is Anthony Joshua against Deontay Wilder and Canelo against Triple G3. And we want to make both of those fights happen. I think that's a natural fight. Gennady Golovkin should win on June the 8th on DAZN against Steve Rose. But like I said, don't count out Demetrius Andrade. You know, he's the final piece to the undisputed puzzle. He's going to be very difficult to beat. He has Maciej Sulecki June 29, live on DAZN as well, defending his WBO world title. So at some point, they're going to have to come together with Andre for the undisputed crown. But I think right now, the fight that should be made, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be made, is Canelo Triple G3.
All right. Excellent. Eddie, thanks for stopping.
All right, we got to stop right there. You know, would you entertain Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs 3 if Canelo has to have surgery and decides to go another route? Remember, that may be on the table, you know, because I think that's an issue that, you know, he should take care of. He's been having some discomfort since they said the Rocky Fielding fight, you know, and of course, I bet, you know, they probably wanted to secure the bag, get the money, you know, before they had this go to the zone and say, hey, listen, we might have to have surgery, you know, so don't rule that out. And also, I do all these videos. I cover every single DAZN fight, every single Canelo fight, and I don't have any issues with DAZN with lag. I don't. I'm sorry. It's your internet. Like, I'm doing, this is live right now, and I'm doing a video, and I upload videos. You should go to my social media, my Twitter, at T Street Controversy, or at T Street. Also, visit our merch store. The link right down below in the description box. Shout out to our team, Rob over in LA. Mikey, Donnell, Tony, team is growing. We're looking for help all over the world. We're expanding, and like things have changed. As Barry Hearns said, the pendulum has swung. So contact us at info@fightview360.com. The link is right down below to our email. Obviously, you got to leave your name, your location. We're really interested in people overseas because we cover all boxing here. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. And yes, as I said earlier in the week, this is my last week covering boxing full-time the way I was before. We're branching out. But we're still going to be giving you these, the bread and butter, every single major fight live. So Saturday nights ain't going nowhere. I'm T Street Controversy with FightView360.com. If you want to see the updated rankings and women's rankings, the links are also down to my website, FightView360. Please subscribe.